Hi, this is Gail. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to answer a couple of questions. The first one has come in from Cassie. She emailed me to ask what it's like traveling with a service animal. Well, Cassie, it's been great. There's been like almost no problem. The biggest place where I had a problem with Tomlin, my service dog, is when we were with the NIH. We went there for some medical testing, and it was awful. I've vlogged about it. There's actually a whole video, actually a few videos on it. So if you want to watch those will pretty much fill you in on what happened. Probably the best place that I've ever been is Walt Disney World, because they went out of their way to be accommodating. We just told them that we had a service animal, and it was great. They just went beyond the call of duty. They made sure that we got seated closely at the restaurants. They made sure that, they just made sure there was no problems. I can't explain it. We were never stopped. We were never questioned. I had parents, actually, that would stop, and they would say, hey, do you mind if I tell my child about service animals? Do you mind just taking a second and telling my child about service animals? Or they'd ask a question in general education sense. So in that sense, there were questions, but as far as, asking for papers, which is illegal, and things like that, there was no problem. Now, last year would have been 2015. I had to stop and think. We drove across the country, crossed the border into Canada, drove across Canada, crossed the border into Alaska, drove across Alaska down to Girdwood, Alaska, just south of Anchorage. No problems there either. Had no problems crossing the border. We had his health information. We told him he was a service animal. They asked what he did for me, and it was like no problem at all, either going across or coming back. So as far as traveling with a service animal from that standpoint, piece of cake. Now, you still have the regular things that you have to do. You have to make sure he's healthy. You have to make sure you have his health papers if you're going to cross the border. You have to make sure that there's food and water. Now, something that makes that easier for us is that we've been working on converting a van into a camper van. So when we travel, he's in the van, of course, with us, and we can just leave a bowl out all the time, one with some food, one with some water, so he can help himself no matter where we are, whether we're traveling, whether we're not, he has access to that. So it really takes a lot of pressure off of me. I don't have to worry about it as much. The other thing is, of course, finding a place to exercise him, and that's what rest areas are partially for, in my opinion. They're great places to get the dog out. So, no problems there. We can take him in restaurants. We try to select restaurants, though, where the dog's going to be outside. It's a thing of mine. If there is a child that's allergic, I don't have to worry about, going across the restaurant from the child, or the child going across the restaurant from me. It's just, I think, a lot easier. Now, people will disagree with me on that. I can already hear the emails and the comments coming in, and by all means, feel free to leave comments. But for me, I'm going to choose restaurants where I can eat outside if it's available. If not, then I'm going to ask to be seated close to the door. 2 reasons on that. 1 is the service animal. 2 is my leg brace, so it's easier for me to be by the door. Okay, so I hope that helps. The other question that came in is from someone named Amanda, and she wants to know what I have to do to be able to travel with a service animal. I think I've actually covered part of Amanda's little private tweet here. If I didn't, Amanda, just leave me another comment or send me another private tweet. You want to make sure again that he's healthy. When I say healthy, I'm not just talking about shots. I'm talking about making sure he's a totally clean animal from the outside of the coat to the inside of the body, okay? So you do have to make sure that he's good to go on that. Water, food, toys. Toys are a big thing. Don't forget those. And by all means, another thing you have to have when you're traveling, at least with my service animal, treats. Because mine, Tomlin, pouts if he doesn't get them. So anyway, Cassie, Amanda, I hope that answers your questions. I hope that helps some other people too. Tune in, like, subscribe. I'm doing vlogs now on Fridays. I'm doing unboxings on Tuesdays. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this. Share it on Google+. Tell your friends, and just share the love. And I will see you out, about, and online. Thanks for tuning in.